Well, the Senzo Meyiwa trial resumed yesterday, and Zandile Khumalo was the prosecution's first witness. The 5 defendants have pleaded not guilty to charges including premeditated murder, attempted murder, aggravated robbery, unlawful firearm possession, and illegal ammunition possession. And the prosecution plans to now bring other witnesses, analyze forensic and ballistic evidence, and further seek the expertise of a cell phone mapping specialist. But eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu is following that story for us, and he joins us live now from court to update us on the very latest. Manqoba, a very warm good morning to you, colleague. And I suppose, of course, as we start all over again with this trial, the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, let's perhaps bring context in terms of how we found ourselves here and also what exactly happened yesterday in court.
Well, certainly to better recall that this trial is starting afresh, de novo, it's called in legal terms. And this is because of the suspension of the previous judge that had listened to this matter, the presiding officer then, Chifiwa Maumela, who was suspended by President Cyril Ramaphosa. It was a recommendation, of course, that was made by the judicial services as far as the issues pertaining to some of his delayed judgments were concerned. So this meant that this matter then had to see another new presiding officer taking over this matter in the form of Ratam Khwatleng, who had been retired at the time when he's been brought into this particular matter. So he's the new judge now in this particular matter, and he'll be listening to, of course, the evidence that will be led in this matter. But we know, of course, that there's been huge delays as far as this matter is concerned. So one of the issues that many who are interested in this particular case will be looking into is just how this trial will commence and proceed from now on to ensure that there are minimal delays as far as it's concerned. It's been quite a number of years in the making since this happened, and of course they'll be hoping for some sort of finality as far as this matter is concerned. Yesterday it did get off with the first witness being called to take the stand, and this is somebody who was in the house, the sister of Kelly Khumalo, Zandile Khumalo, who was one of the 6 adults who were there at the house when this incident occurred. And yesterday she started to give her testimony detailing the moments that the intruders had come into the house and the pandemonium that then ensued after those 2 intruders had come into the house. She described that the first intruder that had come in had dreadlocks. He was short, and this is the intruder that was carrying a firearm at the time. The second one was a bit tall, she says, and this is the second one that went and stood just by the sitting room, in the midway of that sitting room. And she then described what had happened at that time. Longwe Twala, her boyfriend, was the first to actually confront the intruders. He had then ran outside the house, and from that moment she says that that's when these intruders had then requested cell phones as well as money from those that were inside the house. But she says that in the moments after that she heard a gunshot going off in the house, and she was hit actually in the ankle with this what she believes were splinters from that firearm or that gunshot rather that had gone off at the house at the time. So she managed to go and hide in the bathroom, she says, and following that she heard 2 more gunshots that had went off in the house. But she also described just before that how she had actually taken a crutch from one of the people that was inside the house. She actually saw this crutch on the floor. It belonged to Tumelo Madlala, who is Senzo Meyiwa's friend, who was also inside the house when all of this ensued. She had then tried to assault one of the intruders with this crutch, but she says she couldn't reach that intruder. She then detailed what happened when she went into the bathroom. When she had hidden in the bathroom, she says she heard 2 more shots going off. And when she opened the door, she then saw that Senzo Meyiwa had been shot. He was in a crouching position in the sitting room, and she then described the moments that happened after that. when she went to try and seek help from the neighbors. She said at the time she had a mental block. She couldn't recall even the number of the police to phone the police. So she ran across the street to the neighbor's house, Maggie Phiri's house, where she had found Maggie Phiri with one of the daughters or the relatives, and Tabiseng. And at that moment, she says they all became frantic. The Phiris were also frantic. And so she had to go back home to find Senzo Meyiwa at that particular point, who had been shot in the sitting room. And she then detailed those moments when they had then rushed him to the hospital. I think that's where she stopped as far as evidence is concerned. We're expecting her to continue with that testimony as to what happened really in those moments, those violent moments when Senzo Meyiwa lost his life. And of course, we expect that that evidence in chief could well be concluded today, Dumelo.
Right. And Manqoba, perhaps even briefly before I let you go, colleague, I mean, in the past when we started with the trial, we almost saw, a process where members of, the SAPS who also arrived on the scene were on the witness stand before. We then saw, of course, some in the house, such as Mthokozisi Twala follow, and then, the likes of Tumelo Madlala before that, and Zandile Khumalo. But with this new trial, just out of curiosity as well, a colleague, why is Zandile Khumalo first on the stand? Was that explanation given? Is there a protocol perhaps that is meant to be followed in terms of how the first trial took place, or because it is a new trial, they may not necessarily follow suit with exactly how different witnesses took to the stands rather to relay their version of events?
Well, what you're saying, of course, Tumelo, is that the state is doing it differently this time around. You recall that in the first trial, we saw the police officers being called to the stand, in fact, laying the ground as far as, investigations were concerned in this particular matter. But this time around, you recall that in the last, sitting of that previous case, Zandile Khumalo, in fact, had been the witness that had taken the stand, and the state deciding to start with Zandile Khumalo and to lead her evidence. We're not sure what they are intending as far as calling their witnesses is concerned. But what does appear is that those previous witnesses that had taken the stand are also likely to be called here to Tumelo. In fact, this trial, as it starts afresh, it means that the judge that is sitting before this particular matter will have to treat it as if this is the first time that this matter is being heard in court. And so this means that even the witnesses that had taken the stand, those that were inside the house, Tumelo Madlala as well as Mthokozisi Twala, and the police officers that had taken the stand to give evidence will have to be recalled again to give testimony in this particular matter. But as far as how the state plans to call these previous witnesses, that is not clear at this particular point. But what we do know is that they will be needed in this particular matter, as this is now a trial de novo, a new trial which started afresh. And so the evidence that they've given would be crucial to this court. Of course, also as far as cross-examination is concerned, it doesn't mean that the evidence that was led in the previous trial will be completely disregarded. We know that, of course, that it also could well be used as part of cross-examination by some of the defense lawyers when they do continue with cross-examination. But we do know, of course, that for now, the person that is on the stand is Zandile Khumalo, who was also one of those that was inside the house when this case happened.
All right, we'll leave it there, colleague. As soon as, of course, court proceedings do commence, we'll be sure to catch up with you once again. Manqoba Mchunu out for us at the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. We've also heard from Zandile Khumalo taking to the witness stand once again to relay her version of events in Vosloorus, her mother's house. This is where, of course, that gun went off that took Senzo Meyiwa's life. The question is, who pulled the trigger? And this new trial aims to find out that fact and that truth.